Hello, I'm Stephen Prendergast, the author of The Sword of Diguez and The Cult of Tufrock, and the host of the 2026 San Diego Wine and Book Fest at Trevi Hills Winery on March 7th. And today I am joined by one of our participating authors, Rachel Garcia. Rachel is a self-published dark fantasy and dark fiction author. She loves morally gray characters and coffee, and her works center on complex plots and flawed characters that reflect the nuances of humanity. She's also an archaeologist working here in San Diego. Welcome, Rachel.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
And great to have you. So you have out two books of a trilogy, the Amidst the Shadows trilogy, and you have a novella. You brought your two books, the Oath, By Oath and Blood and By Love and Death.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your trilogy and how did you get into writing dark fantasy and dark fiction?
Well, the trilogy itself is mostly dark fantasy, and it centers around a princess who's born already possessed by a demon in a world that condemns her for it. So the main trilogy follows her story, her character development, and her arc in self-acceptance, but also follows the big plot line of a murder that happens in a war that's the result of it. And I got into dark fantasy just because I really enjoyed reading the genre, and I really like that within dark fantasy you can have a lot of morally gray plots or characters, and I feel like they're just a lot of fun to write.
Yeah. And what was the first thing that really caught you as far as this plot line, the storyline? Where did that pop out to you?
So I saw a quote online that said, keep your head up or the crown falls. And as soon as I read that, I immediately thought of a character who obviously is of royalty and would be struggling, which is the metaphor of dropping your head and it falls. So from there, it just sort of spiraled into this obsessive back and forth plot. And that's how I centered on the main character being a princess.
Yeah. I know a lot of people kind of look at dark fantasy and fiction and such and kind of go, I'm not sure about this. Why should people give it a try?
I think it's really important because the plot itself and the characters are more reflective of realistic human nuance. Not everyone is great all the time, and so many times people, there's a reason why they get to the point that they are, and it's allows people to learn more empathy and be more empathetic to others, to see someone's backstory. It doesn't necessarily excuse a behavior, and I think that's where the genre can be a little dangerous to toe the line, is when people remove the fiction from it into real life. There's certain behaviors you don't excuse in real life, but with it being fiction and a book, it allows you to see the other side a bit better.
Right. Are there any other themes or ideas that you like to bring to your writing?
I love found family. I love conversations around grief, anxiety, and loss. When I was younger, I lost close family just because they happened to be a lot older than I was. And I felt like there wasn't a lot of books that I could read and really see this grief conversation from start to finish. I feel like a lot of times they recover really quickly, or even if they do recover, there's not as much lingering thought to this person or what they've gone through. So I bring that a lot in the book.
Right. So what are you looking forward to at the Wine and Book Fest? This will be your first time joining us.
Yeah, I'm really excited. One of the things I love the most about book events is meeting other authors. There's so many cool people who write books, and I grew up not having any writer friends, so it's a very isolating hobby in itself. And then to meet other people who are also obsessed doing it is fun. Meeting readers is always fun, and having an excuse to talk about the book is always really fun.
That's always fun, and because people come because they want to meet the authors, they want to hear about the books.
Yes, and seeing the excitement on their faces and going back and forth is really fun.
Yeah.
You don't get that online.
Yeah, wonderful. Why do you think someone should come to the Wine and Book Fest? What would really be the pull for somebody?
I think the pull would definitely be to meet authors in person and, see the face behind the words and get to talk more about the books one-on-one. I think when you see books online, obviously you get their synopsis, like a little screenshot, but an author can really go into the excitement behind why they write a book, what's really exciting about it. And then you get to meet other fellow readers, which is also super fun. And who doesn't love wine?
Good point. Great. And so where can people find you online?
So they can find me online. I'm pretty much just on Instagram. I'm at Rachel Likes Coffee on Instagram.
Rachel Likes Coffee.
Yeah.
I see a theme here.
Yeah, there's a big theme. I'm a big coffee lover. If I'm writing, I'm also having a coffee at the same time.
Any particular blends that you like?
I love an Ethiopian bean. Yeah, there's a local Dark Horse roastery. They're really good. I love anything from there.
All right. Well, great. Well, Rachel, thank you again for joining us. And once again, the San Diego Wine and Book Fest on March 7th from noon to 4 o'clock. Love to see people out there. We are going to have a great lineup of authors everywhere, from everything from children's books to fantasy, science fiction, romantasy, dark fiction, you name it. I think we'll have it there. Thank you for joining us.
San Diego Wine and Book Fest, 7.7 from noon till 4 at Trevi Hills.